Carter from Carter Curricula here, where I am on a mission to savor our shared humanity by doing close reads of poetry, specifically written by dead American poets. We are in a series with Langston Hughes, taking a look at his poetry between 1921 to 1930. So the roaring 20s, basically, in the United, the experience in the United States. Langston Hughes, an African American poet, wrote a poem called The Negro Speaks of Rivers. This poem got 17,000 views. When I analyzed it 4 years ago, I didn't even anticipate that it would have that many views. It's by far the most views that I have on any one single video. And this one is the same poem analyzed 4 years later with new experiences, with new skills, different perspectives, a different way of close reading. Let's take a look. I'll read it, then I'll take a look at these things over here on the left-hand side to help guide our discussion to make sense of it. The Negro speaks of rivers. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood and human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates drawn, when dawns were young. I built my hut near, near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all gold in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. First thing that I see in this is the word known right up top, lines 1 and 2, the repetition of the word, the repeated use of the word known, known twice. As far as I could tell, see in this context means, actually, excuse me, known in this context means see, heard, or felt. So he has seen, heard, or felt from a distance, vicariously, right? But he has decided to closely connect himself up with this image of rivers, and it's the image of water, a water image in biblical days, and including the idea of river water being this idea of being baptized, right? You go down one way, you come up another, right? And in these rivers is where what he's known. He's known his whole existence has come from rivers, right? I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. He knows the same rivers that existed before humanity. Right? So he's known them. How? How does he know them? From a distance, vicariously, drawing whatever the rivers have within him, within it, into himself. Those rivers, those rivers that in stanza 2, line 4, my soul has grown deep like the rivers. It looks like in this context, you can have a soul that's not so deep. You can have a soul that is shallow. And here in this context, it looks like the speaker is digging deep, deepening his soul, right? Taking an active part in connecting his soul up with ancient things like the rivers that flow. And in the next stanza, image after image of river after river, the Euphrates, the river, the Euphrates River, built his hut in the Congo, the Nile River, the Mississippi River, from rivers in the Middle East to rivers in Africa to rivers in North America. These rivers have always been around, and he has always been around just like it. He is similar to it in the sense that he is rooted in the earth, rooted in the experience of all of humanity. The Negro speaks of rivers. The Negro is a representative for black people, and black people a representative for all of humanity, right? In this poem, the Negro speaks of rivers. The humans speak of rivers. Humans are connected to to the deeper things of life, the things that have been around prior to its existence. That's what human beings are connected to. That's where people can go to find their depth. Right? I've known rivers. So we have imagery, we have repetition, we have metaphor, and we have more ideas presented about the rivers. Ancient, dusky meaning dark. Dusky rivers. Interesting that he uses that term, considering he's the Negro speaks of rivers, likely admiring the darkness of his complexion rather than belittling it or diminishing it. His darkness or his complexion matters in terms of him understanding who he is. And then finally, the beautiful line, my soul has grown deep like the rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. The depth of the soul is what we seek. And depth of the soul is something that anyone can attain as long as he or she is willing to connect up who they are with things that matter most. And that's what we have for the theme here. The theme of this poem is right down in the bottom there. The soul can deepen by associating itself with deep things. Your soul can deepen, my soul can deepen. Associate yourself with deep things, and your soul will deepen. Your spirit, your mind, your skills, your understandings will deepen when you associate yourself with that which is deep. We're looking for depth, not shallowness. We're looking to move deeper into our humanity, not away from our humanity. And in so doing, we connect ourselves up with the deepest things that exist on the planet, including the rivers that have flowed before we were here, and they will likely flow when we are gone. That's all I have for this one. On the next one, I will be taking a look at another Langston Hughes poem in this series of Langston Hughes. Is the very first one, and I hope that this is something that you can rock with. See you in the next one.